What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tyler Horka here with a Monday update on Notre Dame football. Marcus Freeman met with the media on Sunday. We're going to discuss some of the tidbits from that press conference. Of course, Notre Dame playing in the Gator Bowl later this month against South Carolina. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, Tyler, I think we got to go right to the quarterback position. And of course, the news broke on Friday, and we had an 80-minute live show to discuss the news of Drew Pyne transferring from Notre Dame. What did Marcus Freeman have to say about that in his press conference?
Yeah, he was pretty upfront and honest with us about how honest he was with Drew Pyne. He told us that he had a meeting with Drew Pyne, and quite frankly, he had meetings with a lot of players in the same vein. You're going to see this week with the transfer portal opening today, Monday, December 5th. A lot of Notre Dame players are going to follow suit and enter the portal like Pyne did because of this conversation that they had with Marcus Freeman. And Freeman told them, hey, we're going to be looking to take in a player here, or this player is coming in from our recruiting class and he might jump you on the depth chart. I think these were honest conversations that Freeman had with these players. And the one with Pyne was, hey, there are a lot of transfer quarterbacks out there. We're looking to take one in. Obviously, Tyler Buchner is getting back to full health. We will probably see him in the Gator Bowl on December 30th. So Pyne kind of understood where he was in the pecking order. And that was probably 3 at best. If you think that Notre Dame is going to land a transfer, it's going to be that guy, Buchner, and then Drew Pyne. And from Drew Pyne's perspective, you're sitting there thinking, okay, I just started 10 games. I went 8-2. I had all these gaudy stats, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks. I mean, the numbers were pretty good, but from an optics standpoint, I wrote it at blueandgold.com. This was the number 74 offense in the country and the number 106 passing offense in the country at just under 200 yards per game. Notre Dame knows it needs more from the quarterback position. It's looking for more, and that's why Pyne went elsewhere.
Yeah, and for folks who have said, oh, Pyne's quitting on his team, look, Pyne needed to enter the portal when he did. So if there are Power 5 teams that want to go after him, now is the time. You don't want to enter it you don't want to leave after the bowl game, and then those schools have already filled up.
And that's why I'll add this as one last note from what Marcus Freeman said. He said Pyne did a tremendous job, and I do not blame him one bit for entering the transfer portal. So I think from Marcus Freeman's perspective, it's actually been very interesting and refreshing to hear that. You have some coaches out there in the country who will say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this guy quit on his team right before the bowl game, or I can't believe he's entering the transfer portal. Why wouldn't you just stick it out? Marcus Freeman understands that these are 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids that have decisions to make about their future. He's helping them make those decisions, and that's exactly what happened with Drew Pyne. They're on the same page. Notre Dame fans need to understand that Marcus Freeman and Drew Pyne probably came to a consensus, and this is what the result was.
So Freeman was very upfront and open about his conversations with Drew Pyne, but in terms of who Notre Dame will play at quarterback against South Carolina, maybe not as upfront about it, keeping a little coy.
He was a little coy because he said, hey, we have 3 scholarship quarterbacks on our roster, Tyler Buchner, Steve Angeli, Ron Powlus, the third. And he said, you might see any single one of those guys in the Gator Bowl. I don't think you're going to see Ron Powlus the third. So for the folks who are saying, hey, bring back the glory days, his dad played in the 90s, let's put him out there in the 2020s. I don't think you're going to see that. But it's sounding more and more likely that you're going to see Tyler Buchner. Marcus Freeman said he's been practicing at full go. That was his direct quote, full go. So when Drew Pyne entered the transfer portal on Friday, I was thinking there's no way Tyler Buchner starts this game, right? But now here I am, not even 72 hours later, and I think it's probable that Buchner starts. Maybe we see Steve Angeli, but I'm starting to think that we see Tyler Buchner, the guy who started the season for Notre Dame, is going to finish this season for Notre Dame. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't love it, but if he is 100%, he's 100%. Like he's ready to go. Yeah, I'm told he and then Freeman talked about it as well. Like he's cleared. I'm told he's been taking first team reps, and Angeli has also taken first team reps at practice in this past week. So yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. And look, these non-playoff, non-New Year's Six bowl games are basically just exhibitions. They have lost so much of their luster. So why not?
That's what I'm saying. For
why
the people
not play
saying
Angeli?
Meaningless. See what you have. See what you have in Buchner. See what you have in Angeli. Some of these other guys, the tight end position, you're probably going to be playing without Michael Mayer throw out Holden Stays and see what you have there and all these other guys. So from a guy who covers the team, this is an interesting game for me, for sure.
Yeah, because if Notre Dame wins, yay, no one really cares, right? But if Notre Dame loses, so might as well.
No one even really cared when they lost the Fiesta Bowl. Like everyone was like mad for a couple of days, but then you realized, hey, this wasn't a playoff game. We still have our new head coach. Notre Dame still won 11 games. It's fine, right?
So we're recording this Monday around noontime Eastern time. So when you're watching this video, folks, things might be a lot different than at the time we're recording this. Pyne officially entered the portal on Monday, and then freshman defensive back Jaden Bellamy also entered the portal. Obviously, Pyne's was expected after his announcement Friday, and we had already been hearing that Bellamy was going to enter the portal. Things just weren't working out with him. Certainly more expected this week, Tyler. This week is kind of like a mini, maybe not even mini. It's like a National Signing Day feel. It's just like the outgoings, the incomings. We expect Notre Dame to take a transfer quarterback, a transfer Viper. They had Braden Fiskey, a defensive line graduate transfer from Western Michigan, visit over the weekend. Patrick Engel did a story about that at blueandgold.com. Fiskey picked up his offer from the Fighting Irish. So this week is just like, it's bonkers. If you follow On3 Sports on Twitter, On3 is our parent company, and it's just tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet of players entering the transfer portal. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, if you've got notifications on for On3 Sports on Twitter, then you probably need to replace your phone battery in the next month because it is popping off. And I think that's going to happen with Notre Dame. You mentioned Jaden Bellamy. I wouldn't be surprised if several more defensive backs especially enter the transfer portal. Cam Hart announced that he's coming back. Benjamin Morrison is obviously going to be one of the best corners in the country for the next couple of years. So if you're a Notre Dame corner, how do you justify staying? And if you're looking at it from a playing time perspective, it's going to be hard to get on the field. Xavier Watts is emerging at safety, so you might have some safeties there sitting there saying, where do I fit in? So Ollie is being a star of this show today. But yeah, I think following the theme of what you've seen on3 Sports Twitter, you're going to see a lot from the Notre Dame side of guys saying, hey, and remember, like we talked about at the beginning of this video, this is coming from Freeman too. He's had conversations with these guys. So if you're looking at this saying, oh, that kid's a quitter on Notre Dame, this is mutual. They're having conversations with the coaching staff and just sorting out their futures.
I've been saying on our live shows for a while that this staff is aggressive. Yeah. Like they are going to bring in these big recruiting classes. Like it's going to be a lot of cycling in and out of players. So, and Bellamy was a guy I heard really good things. Like the staff was really excited about. Again, just hadn't worked out, and I guess the future wasn't looking too bright there. And I'll also add that if you're like a junior or a sophomore defensive back and you see Jaden Mickey and Ben Morrison playing, and they're looking like the future of the room at corner, and Cam Hart's coming back next year, I don't know what Clarence Lewis will end up doing. If he comes back, he'll still play a good bit next season. So it's just, those are the kind of ones you keep an eye on, be like, are you going to stick around? Like some of those class of 2021 defensive backs, for example.
This is what you want to see if you're a Notre Dame fan, because look at Alabama. Look at all the guys that leave that program every single year. It's because they have so much talent, and those guys feel like they cannot get on the field, and they weren't going to get on the field. Some of the guys that have left there in the last 5 years. So this is kind of a sign that Notre Dame is getting on the same tier as the top programs in the country, where they have such a wealth of riches that you're going to see guys leave because the guys who are staying are really, really good, like Benjamin Morrison. And those are the guys that you see on the field every single Saturday.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Yeah, like we mentioned, Gator Bowl for Notre Dame against South Carolina. That game is a 3:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff on ESPN. Notre Dame actually opened as a 4.5-point favorite. Still a lot of news to be determined here in terms of transfer portal recruiting. These coaches are on the road. Who plays in the bowl game? Like Michael Mayer, we obviously don't expect to play. Cam Hart, Tyler touched on him earlier, shoulder surgery. He's returning for next season, but obviously will miss the bowl game. So log in at blueandgold.com. You can read all of our premium information, all the message board updates and conversation. Just $10 gets you access through the start of next football season over at blueandgold.com. So, folks, definitely appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video and watching, and we'll catch you for our next video.